We were doing pretty well, but we've just ground to a whole big cloud of smoke behind us. So we've got a major engine problem. Engine won't start. We're stuck on a hill in a very bad place.
We thought we had a gearbox problem, but now the engine won't start. That's not a gearbox problem, that's an engine problem. Yeah.
Situation update then. I've got a SIM card.
Gave $7 to a kid on a bike, and he actually came back and brought us a SIM card,
Yeah.
which was a pleasant surprise.
We've sent an SOS to a guy who runs a place called the Overlander Embassy. It's in Panama City. It's where we were trying to get to fix the gearbox.
But there is a big town called David that is, I don't know, a few hours still, but it's a lot closer than Panama City, so we're going to try and get a tow truck. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and
that's like a 3-hour drive still, just less than 3 hours.
yeah, it's a couple of hours, but
So,
it's a mountain road, so
yeah,
oh well, we can't even turn our engine on anymore, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a bit late now. I'm not expecting a late night Sam rescue in the dark.
I don't really want to be towed up a mountain road in the dark right now.
No.
That's fine. We got somewhere safe, so we'll deal with it in the morning, I guess.
So Willow tells me that this is a piece of our engine. The actual block itself has exploded. Tow truck is here, tow truck is here. So they are loading Ruby up onto the truck on a horrible angle, and we are going to have to sit in the back with Ruby. It's fun, right?
Spanish direction.
Straighten.
Straight in, so
More. Derecha.
Ahí está bien.
Sí. Wait, well. How's the view?
I think it's going to be mildly terrifying, to be perfectly honest with you.
Doing a 180 turn.
Oh my god. The whole steering wheel makes me feel in control.
By camp spot. David, here we come.
This is not be allowed.
I do, it's kind of fun. Oh. Took care of itself.
Slept next to this main road last night. It was horrible. When I say sleep, I don't really mean sleep. So, till we know what we're doing a little bit more, we've booked an Airbnb. It's not far, but we have to take a lot of stuff with us.
Including the cat.
Cats, litter trays. It's quite hot, but it has a swimming pool, so it's not all bad. How's that going?
Lizzie's still not used to bag.
Lizzie doesn't like bag. Oh.
Hasn't started particularly well in David. The Airbnb wasn't terrible, but it was a little bit odd. We were staying in somebody's 2-bedroom apartment and all of their stuff were everywhere, and it just felt a bit awkward being in their house around them, not really feeling comfortable. So we are now checking into a hostel called Hostel Bamboo. It's got really good reviews and it's pet friendly. Hoping it'll be a bit more relaxed and chilled, and the pool's a bit better here. It's actually on the site rather than being in the general area of the apartment. I just hope this engine comes soon. I don't want to be here too long. So I've only gone and had a little accident, which is probably going to require stitching. So it's our first visit to a hospital in 2.5 years. And we're doing so well.
Ooh, not so good. So with COVID rules and everything, I have to sit outside and wait. I'm only allowed in to translate and then I have to go back out again. So Lee's currently in there being stitched and vaccinated against everything. But I think we are nearly finished.
So I'm all patched up. I have lots of paperwork.
All his paperwork and the total cost is $2.
I can't speak highly enough of the hospital staff here. They've been amazing. I'm all fixed. I've been stitched. I've been stabbed, and yeah, I just want to go eat something now.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Good service. So here's how our day is going. We tried to be productive and found a guy who could order a replacement engine from Florida and import it into Panama for just over $1,000, $1,050.
No, but that's without the delivery. So $1,500
Yeah.
actually. And he's been really nice and really helpful. And
Super quick, which is why we
really
went
great.
with him.
We've waited a week since it broke. We're like, we have to make a decision. We need to like do something because we're paying to live in this hostel, and that's an expense too.
And a couple of hours later, we just had a message from a guy called Jason, who's like the head of Subaru in Costa Rica, and he's found a 2-litre Subaru engine on Facebook, which is like $285, and he can have it with us the next day. So now we're in a predicament of trying to ask the guy for $1,000 back, and he just messaged us at the same time saying that the order's been confirmed.
Literally the exact same time, and it's a third of the price, and instead of taking a month, it will take a day. So
Yeah.
now I have to message the really nice, helpful guy and be like, sorry, can you cancel that?
Can you send us $1,000 back, please? Yeah, we're not quite sure what's going to happen right now.
Terrible
Hopefully
timing.
this guy will come back and say he can cancel it for a small fee, which will still hopefully be a lot
So
cheaper
way cheaper.
and a lot quicker. So yeah, we're going to see what happens. We received a message from the American company informing us that we couldn't cancel our order with them, which means we're going to have to go ahead with the more expensive engine that's going to take longer to get here, which kind of sucks, but what can we do? We have to commit to something, and at least we have an engine coming.
It's already been a week, so
Yeah, we're kind of trying to...
excuse the engine braking.
We're hoping that the more expensive one's going to be in better condition and trying
Yeah.
to justify it that way.
Hopefully, I mean, maybe, oh my god, the lorries. Hopefully it's better. It's probably a lot lower mileage. The Costa Rican one, we have literally no idea. So maybe it was for a reason, but the engine is coming. So in the meantime, that means we've got to deal with the gearbox.
Yeah, we Got took around by a great guy, Beto, who's the general manager of the Volkswagen dealership here in David. Eventually we tracked down 2 potential places to get our gearbox rebuilt, which means today we're actually getting started on ripping Ruby apart. Engines coming out, gearboxes coming out, and then we can take it to them and see what's actually going on inside.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say what you need repaired when we don't actually know what the state of the gearbox internals are yet.
Yeah, we know certain issues. We know the synchro on 3rd gear's knackered.
Completely.
We're pissing oil out of the drive shafts. So
yeah, and we
need to
think
fix them.
something has happened to the selector as well. And we're not sure if that horrible noise was gearbox or engine really at this point. So today, hopefully, we're gonna see actually what went wrong.
Yeah, and we'll give you a good look at what's happened.
Big hole that we found.
Yeah, see what other holes we find as well.
It's a really odd thing to say. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so we've started taking stuff apart. What are you doing?
I've been draining the oil, taking the exhausts off.
Yeah.
How tidy the oil is, it's pitch black. And that's new.
Not a good colour really. So, draining everything down. Up here I'm disconnecting, well, stuff that will let us take the engine out. So normally we just take out the bottom half. I'm going to show you what we're doing now. Every normal engine breakdown, we simply swap this part here downwards. We can leave all of this part, the top, in the engine. It's not actually necessary to disconnect the whole lot, but we've had so many issues that we've decided to take the whole thing out. We're going to clean it, check the loom, everything. And already I've only been doing this like, I don't know, 20 minutes. And already, you may know we've had a serious power problem. And, well, which reason to pick? Firstly, this has fallen off, and this is the air hose for the fuel regulator. So not only is that a vacuum leak, but it means the fuel regulator is not being controlled properly. Sticky throttle pedal, well, the flexible casing's come apart. That's making the throttle stick, and that makes it quite hard to use that properly. If you didn't have enough air leaks, here's another one. Intake hose completely broken there. So there's already quite a lot of reasons that say take the whole thing out and try and fix it up. And then also we'll be able to see the big hole, which is right under here in the block at the back.
We have disconnected pretty much everything, so now we're going to start looking at dropping the engine and the gearbox in a bit.
So the hard bit now is you can't lower the crane anymore because the crane hits the top of the engine bay. You can't lower the jack anymore because the jack is lowered. But obviously it don't fit. If you have a look, there isn't space to get it out. So what we're going to have to do is disconnect the inlet manifold at the top. So that'll bring the clearance down to about here when we take off the, we'll see if they come in here, probably, when we take off the alternator and everything. Well, like I said, it's a bit hard to see, but you get the idea. If we take the top off, we basically have to split the engine top and bottom now. which you have to do anyway, because we're only going to change the bottom. And then we'll be able to take the top bit through the top and drag the bottom without the bottom. Flat.
Well, you buy the next round.
Right, it is day 2 of Operation Try and Fix Ruby. We're not planning on doing too much today. We're just going to separate the gearbox off really and have a look inside, look at the clutch and flywheel, make sure there's no damage there, and then maybe get it dropped off at the mechanic. Quite interested to see.
Hoping it's alright inside mainly, and then once we get the gearbox dropped off, then we're just kind of waiting.
Yeah, I mean, we got a big list of things to do, so
We
we'll be
do,
busy.
but not the major stuff.
No. Right, gearbox is off, as you can see. Willow's now taking it apart to see what it's like inside. We already know there's a big problem.
There was a bit of a... In Costa Rica we said 100% there's a gearbox issue. Then the engine exploded and I thought, oh, maybe we had the engine all along, but still kind of thought gearbox is probably just because of how it was making a noise, and we've just taken it. You can look at the oil. So there is definitely a problem. Very metallic oil, and if you look in the drain plug, so that's the view inside the drain plug. If you, like, this is all just, look, bits of metal. Right, moment of truth. All we need is the diff not to be messed up, because everything else we have the part. So
Let's just look.
fingers crossed.
Fingers, toes, legs, arms, everything crossed.
Right. So
Ooh.
guess where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how much movement I've got
Yeah.
without moving the rod. Like 2 millimeters back here is like 20 centimeters at the gear stick. So fortunately we have a spare, and I think this is why we've been getting so much slop on our gears. And when you look at the, you can see like there's not even got that channeling at the bottom here anymore.
away.
It's all completely worn out. With the new bearing, okay, the screwdriver's moving, but the bearing is pretty much okay, so we can swap this part.
To all the people who are interested,
In the depths of our gearbox. So this one came out of the gearbox that got water in it and broke the diff, but actually the whole rest of the box is fine, and we kept these parts for spares. You can see it's done the typical VW snap at the bolt. We got that welded a while ago. And this one is like this, and this one is like this. You can quite clearly see there's a circlip on this shaft, and here it's gone. You can see the gap, nothing. So that's why we were struggling to find gears, because of all of that problems. So this goes back on, the better one, and on to the next thing.